continuing on my videos on the Civil War. I've just been doing stuff about the Civil War, which is prior to it, so I haven't even been on the Civil War yet. But we're just talking about some things that was leading up to this to the Civil War. And in this video, I want to discuss the Missouri Compromise, which was in 1820. So before and during 1819, we have a very delicate political climate, which is, it's very delicate because we have a divided Congress. We have people over here who are pro-slavery and over here people who are anti-slavery, North versus South. Very delicate political climate, and we have a very delicate balance between free and slave states. We have a very nice balance. And then Missouri Territory comes along in 1819 and says, hey, we want to be a slave state. Kind of big issue here. Henry Clay had a hand in this, and Henry Clay was the orchestrator of the Compromise of 1850 and the Omnibus Bill before that. Henry Clay was the great compromiser. One time, soon, at some point, I want to do a video just on Henry Clay because that's an awesome man. Awesome man, I think. So that this request of Missouri to be a slave state is kind of upsetting this balance. So the Missouri Compromise was pretty simple. The Missouri Compromise of 1820 was quite simple. Missouri was admitted as a slave state, while Maine was admitted as a free state, and we had this 3630 line, which I'll try and put in the thumbnail of this video, the picture which shows where the line is. The line is it's just south of Missouri and on Oklahoma and the Arkansas northern state lines. So it's saying that besides Missouri, anything north of that line is free, anything south of that line is slave. And that was the way of maintaining this delicate balance. And later, the Kansas-Nebraska Act in 1854 negated this whole thing, which I will do a video at right now, actually. So if you have any questions or if you think I'll left something out, this is kind of a short video, do let me know in the comments. Sorry. Compromise of 1850, on the other hand, is something that was, of course, it was orchestrated by Henry Clay, but before that bill, we had the Omnibus Bill, which had a lot of. It was a big thing, I could do a whole video just on that one bill, but I think I won't because it was not a bill that it didn't really go into law at all. But the Compromise of 1850 was something that was brought on by territory gained in the Mexican-American War from 1846 to 1848, and so we have this. First, we have California, which was admitted as a free state, and we had Utah and New Mexico, which were admitted as territories, but were asked whether they're free or slave. That was a popular sovereignty thing, which was, as we saw in the Bleeding Kansas was might not be the best option, but apparently wasn't as bad as that was. And we had in Washington D.C., slave trade was there banned, and there had a border dispute between Texas and New Mexico, with which Texas won, and this also made it easier for fugitive slaves to be recovered, which kind of was almost a renewing of the fugitive slave law. So the whole thing here is that you have a delicate political climate, and the whole thing is, in my opinion, a lot of the Civil War has to do with money. It has, the reason why the war came on has to do with money. The South people who were used to having slaves, and that was just like a whole thing where they would, have difficulty, with money if they had to pay workers, to work their field. So it had a lot to do with money, as to why things happen. So, um, given these two compromises, I would say that a decade from when this compromise of 1850 was brought into law, you did have war that was happening. So with these two compromises that I've discussed, in the three fifths compromise, and that compromise was simply that um, a slave was only three fifths of a person when it comes to voting, and or a free black was a three fifths of a person when it came to voting. So you know compromises like this, from you know um, you know 18 from the very beginning of the country even having been made, having to do with slavery, it mostly from 1820 and onward, you had this delicate political climate, well, 18, I don't know, the 18 teens and onward, you had this delicate political climate where you were trying to make everything all balanced out, and make everything okay, and make the free states and the slave states all happy, and it didn't work, and that's why everything led to there being war. Um, so again, I know I said this already, but if I messed anything up or left anything out, comment below. Let me know. Thank you.